Well, welcome to Sunday Aseda Raffle. Today is Sunday. You know, ya kwa sorry aba. Bibia ya kama. And now 8 February. Sunday ya kano, but the bank can be the kind of start 8 February. Today is 8 February. But me sad when you come February. Ya kwa sorry aba the before say ya koto correction there. I think I'm going to make it. It's true NLN, you are going to get something. As you know, you are MC. My name is Akwasi Buadi Akrobato, aka Who Knows Tomorrow. Viewers, we continue from there. We call our gentle person, Nana. Hey, also need Zambia for Kuntokwe Yara. Wow. Nana. Zambia for Kuntokwe, Afro. You know, all my tradition to grow strong. Thank you, Nana. Nana, we boxing some idea. Every friend, Minya Kuma, Mr. Yati, within Ako University. But Oya Bright, those two are the pa. When you in a meeting with the store, Oya Bright, yeah. Mr. Yati, yeah. Yeah, I will dress the bitter. Thank you. Mr. Mayati, I'm a green light in the end. Okay, let's start. I'm going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46.
Run online scams in Myanmar and elsewhere in Southeast Asia, according to estimates by the United Nations. Among them are thousands of Chinese people, and their victims who they swindle billions of dollars from are mainly Chinese as well.
Former U.S. President Bill Clinton and his wife Hillary Clinton, the former Secretary of State, have agreed to testify in the congressional investigation into late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. It comes days before a vote on whether to hold the couple in criminal contempt for refusing to appear before the House Oversight Committee after a month-long standoff. Bill Clinton was acquainted with Epstein, who died in prison in 2019, but has denied knowledge of his sex offending and says he cut off contact 2 decades ago. It's unclear when the depositions will take place, but it will be the first time a former U.S. president has testified to a congressional panel since Gerald Ford did so in 1983. The Clintons had long resisted the demand to appear before the committee, saying they had already given sworn statements representing the limited information they had on Epstein. They had dismissed the legal summonses issued by the committee as nothing more than a ploy to attempt to embarrass political rivals, as President Trump has directed. The House Oversight Committee, led by Republicans, then approved the measure to hold the Clintons in contempt late last month with the support of several Democrats. On Saturday, lawyers for the couple made an offer for them to provide limited testimony that would have centered on a 4-hour interview by Bill Clinton. But House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer expressed concerns that the former president would stonewall questions and run down the clock. On Monday evening, Bill Clinton's Deputy Chief of Staff, Angel Urena, posted on X confirming the couple would appear before the panel. Neither Clinton has been accused of wrongdoing by survivors of Epstein's abuse, and they have denied knowledge of his sex offending. Hillary Clinton, former U.S. Senator and Secretary of State, and the Democratic presidential nominee in 2016, has said she never met or spoke to Epstein.
Preview.
Tourists hoping to get close to the Trevi Fountain had to pay €2 starting Monday as the city of Rome inaugurated a new fee structure to help raise money and control crowds at one of the world's most celebrated waterworks. The first tourists to pass through the new ticket check seemed nonplussed by the tariff, noting it was a small price to pay for quality access to a fountain made famous by Federico Fellini's movie La Dolce Vita. The tourist fee was rolled out in conjunction with the new €5 tourist ticket fee for some city museums. In both cases, Rome residents are exempt from the fees, and the extra revenue will actually expand the number of city-run museums that are free for registered Roman residents. In a part of the Eternal City's efforts to manage tourist flows in a particularly congested part of town, improve the experience, and offset the maintenance cost of preserving all of Rome's cultural heritage, officials estimate it could net the city €6.5 million extra a year. The city decided to impose the Trevi Fountain fee after seeing positive results already from a year-long experiment to stagger and limit the number of visitors who can reach the front edge of the basin by imposing lines and pathways for entrance and exit. The Trevi fee, which can be paid in advance online, enables tourists to get close to the fountain during part-time daylight hours. The view for those admiring the late Baroque masterpiece from the piazza above remains free, as it is up close after hours. The towering fountain features the Titan god Oceanus, flanked by falls cascading down the travertine rocks into a shallow turquoise pool, where Marcello Mastroianni and Anita Ekberg famously took their nighttime dip in La Dolce Vita. While bathing is prohibited nowadays, legend has it that visitors who toss a coin over their shoulders and make a wish will return to Rome.
China has banned hidden door handles on electric vehicles (EVs), making it the first country to stop the use of the controversial designs that were made popular by multi-billionaire Elon Musk's Tesla. It comes as EVs are facing scrutiny from safety watchdogs around the world after a number of deadly incidents, including 2 fatal crashes in China involving Xiaomi EVs in which power failures were suspected to have prevented doors from being opened. Under the new regulations, cars will only be allowed to be sold if they have a mechanical release both on the inside and outside of their doors, according to state media. The new rules are due to take effect on 1st January 2027. The Ministry of Industry and Information Technology rules require the outside of every passenger door, except the boot, to have a recessed space measuring no smaller than 6 cm by 2 cm by 2.5 cm to allow access to the handle. Inside the car, there must be signs measuring at least 1 cm by 0.7 cm to show how to open the door. Cars that have already been approved by authorities and are in the final stages of entering the Chinese market will have another 2 years to update their designs. Hidden handles are widely used in China's new energy vehicle (NEV) market, which includes EVs as well as hybrid cars and those powered by fuel cells. They feature in about 60% of the top 100 best-selling NEVs. Although the measures will only apply to models sold in the Chinese market, the country's huge presence in the global car industry means the move is likely to have an impact around the world. Tesla's door handles are already being investigated by US safety regulators, and authorities in Europe are considering their own rules. In November, the U.S. National Highway Traffic Safety Administration (NHTSA) opened a probe focused on Tesla's electric-powered door handles, responding to reports that they suddenly stopped working, leaving children trapped in the cars. The NHTSA said it had received 9 complaints about the handles in Tesla's 2021 Model Y cars, the company's flagship models. In 4 of the cases, the car owners resorting to breaking the window to resolve the issue. Elon Musk's SpaceX is taking over his artificial intelligence startup as the billionaire continues to unify some of his many business interests. SpaceX confirmed the deal to acquire xAI, a smaller firm known for its Grok chatbot, posting a memo from Musk about the merger on its website. Terms of the deal were not disclosed. However, a source familiar said it's valued xAI at $125 billion and SpaceX at $1 trillion, making it the most valuable private company ever. In his memo, Mr. Musk said the combination would form an innovation engine, putting AI, rockets, space-based internet and media under one roof. xAI began as a segment of X, formerly known as Twitter, after Mr. Musk acquired the social media platform in 2022, using its access to real-time text and information as AI training data. By spring of 2025, it was independently incorporated and valued more highly by investors than X. Its main product is Grok, which has come under scrutiny several times over its AI image generation feature. In recent weeks, the European Commission and UK watchdog Ofcom both launched investigations into X over concerns Grok was used to create sexualized images. xAI said in January it had imposed restrictions on Grok users that limit image editing. The huge merger comes after Mr. Musk's electric car company Tesla announced a $2 billion investment in xAI last month. Mr. Musk told Tesla investors that he envisioned xAI functioning as an orchestra conductor for Tesla factories employing autonomous robots. He also said it would stop manufacturing 2 car models in favor of producing robots, one of the most significant pivots the company has made. Tesla moved forward with the XAI investment despite objections from some shareholders who had questioned the decision to divert resources to another Musk firm. In a vote last year, abstentions and votes against the idea outnumbered those who approved. SpaceX is also reported to be working on plans to list its shares for public trading.
Entertainment awards season has coincided with the Trump administration's mass deportation campaign in Minneapolis, forcing artists to decide whether and how to join the growing cultural revolt against immigration crackdowns. Pushback from music's biggest stars was visible Sunday from the Grammys' red carpet and throughout the telecast. Activists spent the week pressing celebrities to don pins protesting the U.S. immigration and customs enforcement presence in cities, working with their teams to spread the message and circulating them at the many events leading up to the ceremony. Billie Eilish, Finesse, and Carole King wore pins while appearing on stage. Even Justin and Hailey Bieber, who don't normally address American politics, had them. Eilish began her Song of the Year speech by professing that no one is illegal on stolen land. British soul pop singer Olivia Dean, recognized as Best New Artist, shared that she's the granddaughter of an immigrant people who she said deserve to be celebrated. Expletives flew as Eyes got cursed multiple times by winners including Kehlani. Bad Bunny said to great applause while accepting the award for Best Musical Urbana Album that they are not savage, animals, or aliens, but they are humans and are Americans. The frequent pushback and buttons prevalence marked a much stronger showing of support than organizers saw at last month's Golden Globes. Public backlash has grown since a Border Patrol officer shot and killed 37-year-old nurse Alex Pretty, and federal agents detained 5-year-old Liam Conejo Ramos. The recent arrest of journalist Don Lemon, who attended Sunday's ceremony, only added to the outcry. Plus, as one organizer noted, the Grammys tend to draw a less risk-averse crowd than Hollywood's shows. Bad Bunny made history with his Album of the Year win at the 2026 Grammy Awards, a first for a Spanish-language album. Billie Eilish won Song of the Year for Wildflower and used the moment to add her voice to the chorus of musicians criticizing immigration authorities. Those statements all aired live. Earlier in the day, at the premiere ceremony, where 86 Grammys are handed out, artists were equally as pointed about ICE and immigration enforcement. Kehlani, after winning her first Grammy, ended her acceptance speech with a curse at ICE. Kendrick Lamar won Record of the Year at an electric 2026 Grammy Awards. Cher presented the award and mistakenly said it goes to Luther Vandross instead of Kendrick Lamar, and the victory means Lamar broke Jay-Z's record to become the rapper with the most career Grammys. Jay-Z has 25 after he took home Rap Album and Record of the Year. Lamar's total is 27. Pop vocal album went to Lady Gaga for Mayhem, while pop solo performer Lola Young for Mercy, whose speech playfully lived up to the song's spirit. The first medical evacuees from Gaza entered Egypt on Monday as the Rafah border crossing reopened. It marked a key step in the Israel-Hamas ceasefire, but a mostly symbolic one, as few people will be allowed to travel in either direction and no goods will pass through. Ambulances waited for hours at the border before ferrying patients across after sunset. The crossing had been closed since Israeli troops seized it in May 2024. About 20,000 Palestinian children and adults needing medical care hope to leave the devastated territory via the crossing, according to Gaza health officials. Thousands of other Palestinians outside the territory hope to enter and return home. The number of Palestinians will increase over time if the system is successful. Israel has said it and Egypt will vet people for exit and entry. The office of the North Sinai governor confirmed that the first Palestinian patient crossed into Egypt. Before the war, Rafah was the main crossing for people moving in and out of Gaza. The territory's handful of other crossings are all shared with Israel. Under the terms of the ceasefire, which went into effect in October, Israel's military controls the area between the Rafah crossing and the zone where most Palestinians live. Violence continued across the coastal territory Monday, and Gaza hospital officials said an Israeli Navy ship had fired on a tent camp, killing a 3-year-old Palestinian boy. Israel's military said it was looking into the incident. Authorities said about 150 hospitals across Egypt are ready to receive Palestinian patients evacuated from Gaza through Rafah. The Egyptian Red Crescent said it has readied safe spaces on the Egyptian side of the crossing to support those evacuated from Gaza. Israel has banned sending patients to hospitals in the Israeli-occupied West Bank and East Jerusalem since the war began, cutting off what was previously the main outlet for Palestinians needing medical treatment unavailable in Gaza. The Rafah crossing will be supervised by European Union border patrol agents with a small Palestinian presence.
Police have confirmed that dozens of worshippers kidnapped by gunmen in Nigeria's northern Kaduna state have returned home weeks after their abduction. They were among 177 people seized last month from 3 churches in the remote village of Kerminwali. The 80 people escaped on the day they were taken but hid in neighboring villages for a fortnight due to fear of being captured again. The authorities say efforts are ongoing to secure the release of the remaining 86 people still being held. The attack was part of a wave of kidnappings for ransom affecting many parts of Nigeria, but no group has said it was behind the abductions. The raid was initially denied by police, who only confirmed the kidnappings on 21st January after local residents had reported that 177 worshippers were abducted, with 11 escaping shortly afterwards. The official response drew criticism from Amnesty International, which accused Nigerian authorities of desperate denial. The rights group urged officials to take immediate and concrete measures to prevent rampant abductions that are gradually becoming the norm in Nigeria. In November, more than 300 students and teachers were taken from a Catholic school in Niger State, which neighbors Kaduna, before being released in 2 groups. Nigeria faces multiple overlapping security challenges beyond kidnappings, including an Islamist insurgency in the northeast, separatist violence in the southeast, and frequent clashes between herders and farmers in central regions over land and water. Security experts say efforts to tackle these crises are hampered by corruption, poor intelligence sharing, and underfunded local police forces. The security situation has drawn international attention. In December, the U.S. conducted airstrikes in northwestern Nigeria on Christmas Day, targeting 2 camps run by an Islamist militant group. Following the action, President Donald Trump warned of further strikes if attacks on Christians in the West African nation continued. Nigeria, Africa's most populous nation, is home to more than 250 ethnic groups and is roughly divided between a predominantly Muslim north and a largely Christian south, with significant mixing in central regions. The government maintains that people of all faiths have been victims of the widespread violence.